Escuela is a special song. It's special because it happens to be a percussion ensemble, meaning it is a percussion-only song. Spider Percussion has worked very hard on this song and hopes you enjoy them and I performing A La Escuela.
Eye of the Tiger is a popular song by Survivor from the movie Rocky III. It is a motivational anthem about resilience and overcoming trouble, urging listeners to persevere and never give up on their dreams, even in the face of challenges. I hope you enjoy the song and its catchy tune.
with our first group change of the evening. 6th grade, back row is going to start. So, Bowen, can you start going that way? 7th and 8th grade symphonic band, if you want to stand and come up this way, just line up. They'll give them a minute to cycle off. Thanks. We'll be back with you in just a second. In this group. Percussion, can you come on stage and go ahead and start setting things? No one except percussion. Thanks. so we're going to move into our 7th and 8th grade portion of the evening. So this has been our first year of having the ensemble split like this, and we've had so much fun. Behind me is the symphonic band, which is the 7th and 8th grade band that is open to anyone with prior experience in band. And I want to give all the 7th and 8th graders, advanced band in the back included, a shout out. So we did something new for James Blair this year. Every 7th and 8th grader went to band assessment, which is this big performance in March. It's in front of judges. It's really high stakes. They work really hard for it. And because of that, between the 7th and 8th graders back there and the ones up here, they're going to have 7 pieces total for you. They did that assessment performance mid-March. So everything you're hearing tonight, with the exception of 2 out of those 7 pieces, they got at the end of March. So I pushed them really hard. Most of this music they've only been playing for like 6 weeks, and they've done an awesome job. So this group has 4 pieces they're going to share with you.
Our first song, Anthem of an Era, is a fast but meaningful song. This song has a lot of energy in it. I hope you enjoy Anthem of the Era by Tyler Grant.
Rhythmicity is a fast song that involves many parts of the percussion. It's a really fun song to play, and I hope you enjoyed the percussion class's performance of Rhythmicity by Tim Weimer.
Backstory before this next song is introduced. So this percussion ensemble meets as a class, and we were in percussion class one morning after we had been working on that song, which was their percussion ensemble piece I had programmed for them. And two students, Jacob and Thomas, came up to me in homeroom one day and said, Miss Lawson, do you think there's ever been a percussion ensemble piece written for a certain instrument, we'll say? And I'm pretty sure my exact response was something like, I haven't had enough coffee for this yet, I don't know. I thought they were kidding, but they said, if we write one, can we play it? And I was like, sure. And I thought they were gonna forget about it. I forgot about it. Until like a month-ish later, they came into class one morning and said, so we wrote the piece, here it is, and pulled out this fully written out percussion ensemble piece. And so I was like, you know what, okay. So I wanted to make sure you knew that everything you're about to hear was 100% written by them with this computer program we used last year in band one time. On their own time, no prompting by me. All I've done is help rehearse it in class to make it ready for tonight. So here to introduce it is one of the composers.
Our next song will be Rooster Rebellion by me and Jacob. In an age long forgotten when the world was ruled by not kings or empires, but ruled by the noble cluck of the rubber chicken, a mighty flock rose up against the tide of seriousness that threatened to engulf their land. Their creed was simple, that joy and silliness and the unmistakable squeak of the rubber chicken must never be silenced. May their echo to valor inspire you to never take life too seriously and always answer the call of the chicken.
Jacob, can you wave? Can we get a round of applause for the two of them one more time? In 10 years of teaching, I've never had someone make a proposition like that and then really come back and say, I did this at home, can we play it now? So I was very impressed with that. Before we play our last song for this group, I want to take a minute to highlight some students that represented us at a big regional event in February called District Band. This is something open to all 7th and 8th graders. You go to a big audition in January and you compete for a spot at the District Band event, and we had 4 students make it this year. We actually had our strongest delegation of auditions in my time at James Blair. We had 16 students go, and we had so many great auditions. but I want to give a shout out tonight to the 4 that made it. I have their certificates from the event, and we had one of those 4 in this group. Can we give a round of applause to Hannah on flute? 6th grade. Can somebody grab that for me? Thank you.
Hello, my name is Elijah Marion, and today for our last song, we'll be playing Snakebite. I admire this piece because it reminds me of a jungle or maybe a rainforest, although this music is very energetic. This piece was made by Matt Conaway. I hope you all enjoyed this tune like I did. Now sit back and relax as we creep into the jungle.
Make another group change. If the people on stage, back row starting, can go off this way. Advanced band percussion, if you can come straight on stage. Other advanced band, if you can line up there. We'll be back with you in just a second. Thank you. This is Live and in the Moment. Connor, are you out there? Can you come here with your saxophone for just a second? Thank you. Give us one moment. We're having some technical issues. Teamwork makes the dream work. So this group in front of you is our advanced band. This is our 7th and 8th grade auditioned group. They meet as a full band, so this is band class every day, and they have 3 pieces they're going to share with you this evening.
Spirit of Liberty is a powerful and energetic piece by William Owens that represents freedom, bravery, and the spirit of our country. This song includes melodic lines and driving rhythms to keep momentum throughout this piece. We hope you enjoy this song as much as we have putting it together for you tonight.
Joy is a lively song by Frank Kelly that we hope you love. If you're having a bad day, the song will lift you up with its fun and fast melodies that we hope you enjoy. We hope you love our rendition of Joy by Frank Kelly.
again, some district band members in this group. We had 3 people make district band out of this ensemble. Everett on bassoon, Colton on trumpet, and Eleanor on trumpet. Come on down.
Feel the sensation of racing atop a mythical dragon as we play How to Train Your Dragon by John Powell. From the major motion picture to the concert stands, this song has high and low notes, a fast and slow rhythm, and the never-ending feeling of racing through a mythical land of dragons and imagination. We hope you enjoy How to Train Your Dragon by John Powell.
before we make our last swap of the night, which involves a lot of movement, hold on one second, I wanted to give you a few end of concert announcements. I write things down because I forget. I first want to acknowledge all of our building-based and central office-based administrators and staff that are here. If you are, also school board, because I know we have them out there. If you are school board of James Blair administrator or central office staff, can you stand up so we can clap for you? Thank you for supporting our band. Thank you. And then I want to give a big shout out to the 5 parents that have been helping me tonight. As I've said to them a lot in the days leading up to this, there's 137 of them and 1 of me. So thank you to the 5 parents that have been helping me manage everybody tonight. Round of applause for them. And then there's a million people that make this happen every day. So thank you to everyone that supports us. If you look at your program, I wrote a whole list out on the second page. We're so thankful to everyone that helps make this happen for us. 2 logistical things while I have everyone in the same room. The first thing is if you are a band parent, if you can make sure you have read the email that I sent on Thursday, April 24th. It has a super detailed list of King's Dominion information, like the fact that they need to be to school at 6:45 a.m. Everyone cheers, right? Yay. So, please make sure that you read through that detailed list. And then I also sent the band rosters that as I have them for next year. If your child is not in band next year and they're sitting here thinking, man, I wish I was, it's not too late, email me. So Thursday, April 24th, please make sure you check out that email. And then last logistical thing, usually at the end of concerts of late, I have said, we need to tear down the whole stage, please help. Lafayette's concert is Thursday night. Go see them. It's Mr. Hargis' last concert. So we are leaving this up here. If I could have like 5 or 6 percussionists to help put our percussion in my car and put some stands back in the orchestra room. But other than that, we don't need to do the usual tear down that we do. Okay, we're gonna make the big swap. Ashley, could we have the lights up, please? Also, can we give a round of applause for our lights and sound people? Students up there who volunteer their time, Lafayette Theater students. So thank you so much. When I say go, James Blair, when I say go, listen so carefully. 7th and 8th graders, you're gonna go find your spot. 7th and 8th graders up here, you're gonna go this way to your spot. 6th graders, you're gonna come this way. This is gonna take us a minute. Go. Thanks.
You want to write great performances this evening and the 8th graders' last concert here at James Blair, we will be playing a song I think we can all relate to.
Lean on Me by Bill Withers represents our band because we all have fond memories and friends we can lean on.
Being a part of the James Blair band for the past 3 years has been a truly wonderful experience.
We will miss this so much, and we hope you enjoy our performance of Lean On Me.
Can we turn the lights up? Sorry, they gotta read music. Just house lights on. We can do house lights on. Thank you. Sorry, I should have mentioned that before. Can we see everybody? Cool. I forgot one logistical thing. 7th and 8th graders out here, if you can bring your stand up here to rack it before we go, that would be great. All the band students will meet you out in the cafeteria. Thank you so much.